Hi, everybody. It is Doc's Daily. We are back every day here, 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And on Saturdays, Griffin and Lenny do their live at 11 a.m. So hopefully you set your calendars and you don't miss out if you're, of course, watching this in replay. Thanks for tuning in as well. Also, don't forget, if you haven't done so, let's get out all the stuff out of the way ahead of time so we don't forget. Free $60 account for anybody that's new. So you can test out our top plays for free. DocSports.com/free60. Of course, if you're not a new customer, you can just go to the grid and get in on any of our deals. It's $30 per day per sport or $99 per week per sport. There's some little deals out there sometimes with promo codes and stuff. So make sure you sign up for like the texts and all the emails because you'll get all kinds of deals, offers, and that kind of stuff. So make sure you get in over at the website. Of course, if you haven't checked out the YouTube Premium, you should get in. Last night, Lenny, guys, we did a live halftime show, and I was the host, so that because Lenny was live from the bar, from the Lions bar in Vegas, right off the we'll forget what casino, but anyway, and he was getting a shot per score.
Jesus
of whiskey. Yeah. So you remember how many points they scored in the first half, even field goals. So it was like, oh my goodness, he was in rare form. It was.
Do we have that taped? Is that available? Is that like
anybody that's a member can go check it out. You can go check out you guys as well because you're in the back end. But yeah, it was hilarious. IC joined us as well, and we gave out a bunch of winning bets. The second half, IC liked over. Me and him both had the over for Dak Prescott for the game, and he said, hey, I'm doubling down, taking him over 325. Of course, he went through 375 or something. Yeah. So Lenny, I forget what he gave out. He gave out a winner. Of course, the Lions won, so Lenny was on the Lions as well. So make sure you check that out. All right, guys, and by the way, for all users, not just our premium members, we're going to be doing a marathon session of live session, like kind of for like 4 or 5 hours, one night a month. And so that's going to be coming up here in the next couple of weeks, where we'll be talking that you can log in. So it could be college basketball that we see going on, that we see some value. Could be the NHL, NBA, even some bowl season as we got coming up. So make sure you stay tuned. We'll be talking about that more here on Doc's Daily. And then, of course, you'll be able to see it at the channel as well. All right, Nick, what do you have for tonight? And I know you've been hot the last month plus. Tell me you're not slowing down.
Yeah, we're not slowing down. We got a backdoor cover yesterday with the Pelicans, had them plus 11.5 there against the Minnesota Timberwolves. We won that one. They lost by 9. Still covered that. We're back on the NBA hardwood floor. Top play, 7 units at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Just have one top play. And we're rolling as of late, like Craig was saying here, over my last 53 top plays. We're up over 10,000 plus in profit. So looking to continue that run here.
Nice. Let's keep it going. So make sure you go over to the website. Under the grid, you can get anybody's. You'll see who has a top play, who has a play in each sport, and that's where you can purchase it. Either the day pass for $30 or the week pass for $99, and you'll get that, of course, for tonight. Or if you buy the week, you'll get it each time. Robert, I know what didn't you say about you had a prop last night?
Yes.
How did that go?
Javonte, it won, of course. It was Javonte. It's the only sport I can win in right now. Like, you go over to the BPA and you look, like, Nick is on fire, for those of you that don't know. Griffin has been on fire. August Young this week has been activated. Like, we got some guys over there that are just absolutely on fire right now. I am not one of them, okay, except in props. My time will come. This is the way it goes, right? The pendulum swings back and forth. But yeah, I hit Javonte Williams over. Jamison Williams went over on his receptions, even though I didn't think Amon-Ra St. Brown was going to play. Yeah. Like, I still knew that Williams was going to be involved and will be involved in that game. I told everybody to jump on that Zags line. Scott Blakely's in the chat, and he mentioned Happy Zag Day. Yeah. I told you that number was going to go up, and 2
points, right? At least, right? It moved.
Yeah,
3 to 5, 5.5, something.
It's 5.5. It's going to go higher by tip off. This Kentucky team isn't very good. So I have a 7-unit NBA play. I've just been kind of treading water there, but I really like this play. I'm kicking myself, God damn it, for not going 7 units on the Lakers over yesterday. Luka was out.
That was what I had.
Luka was out, so that's my thing. That should have been my 7-unit play right there, but instead I feel good about what I'm putting out there. Hit a 7-unit on Wednesday, hit a 7-unit on Thursday, so I don't know what I'm complaining about. But
FYI, Luka's still out tonight, and probably a few games. I guess he's back in his country. He's having his first baby, so or his girlfriend or wife or whoever that is. So
probably not his first, just the first one that he's claiming.
Well, yeah, I don't know. That's what they said. So yeah, he's not playing tonight. Of course, the big news in the LA, LeBron James' streak of 10+ points ended last night, and he had the ball, could have shot it when it was tied late, and got his 10. Probably would have got his 10 points, but kicked it out. Nice three by Hashimura, I think, is the one that hit it. So big win for the Lakers. They've won a couple games without Luka already this year. So if you'd have told me the Lakers would be here, I would be like, at this point, like 21-5, 6, whatever it is. I'm like, no way.
15-6, something like that. Yeah.
If you said they only had 6 losses, I thought this team would basically be like what they are the last few years, which is a few games above 500, fighting for the last spot. But they're playing, and it's not because they're playing great defense. That's the weird part. Because they're scoring.
I'm not gonna lie though, like with the NBA, I'm starting to get a little bit of an NFL feel to it too, where there's the one great team, Oklahoma City, and then some very good teams at the top. But there's a lot of bad basketball being played right now. There's just a lot of like super mediocre to bad teams. Like maybe it'll change, maybe guys will get going, but some teams that I expected more out of just aren't playing really well right now. Like you got like 4 or 5 teams, and then a lot of dreck, really.
Now to win games, you got to score 120 points.
At least. I mean, the total suggests that. I mean, when the normal total now, I don't know what's the average you think, Nick, right now? It's like 237.5 or something. It's like,
I would say, yeah, 240s even. I'm seeing way too many 240s this year.
Yeah,
ridiculous.
I used to see 240. I would always think under. Now I'm thinking 240. I'm like, probably got to play the over because these are the worst defenses and the teams that like to play the fastest. So we'll get into some of the NBA. I want to talk NHL first. Then I want to talk college football, and we'll finish it up with the NBA and college hoops a little bit. First and foremost, careful with the Gonzaga unit. I have a Gonzaga as a play tonight, but everybody's on them. I mean, all of our guys, everybody on the chat, everybody. And we all know what that means. It's like when everybody's on something, it's like that's the wipeout game. So just be careful. I don't know how Kentucky keeps it close, but that's the ones that always worry me when everybody's on the same thing. So just be careful with that. But NHL, Nick, let's talk NHL with you. I know you're kind of our guru here anytime I'm on with you. Anything that here tonight? I know last time we were on together, we said Anaheim, that ended up winning. I believe that was Monday. What do you like here tonight? They're an underdog again tonight, FYI.
Yeah, let's talk about it. I mean, we got the Capitals against the Ducks here, but the Anaheim Ducks, and the reason why I couldn't pull the trigger on them today is because of this backup goaltender. This kid has 4 starts. He's 2-2 on the season, but his save percentage is at a .859. And 4 starts, that's about 3.5 goals there. So I think there's going to be a ton of goals in this game, whether it is the Anaheim Ducks, who we all know have been great on their home ice, but this Washington Capitals team, their offense is starting to play here. They just put up, I believe it was 7 goals in their last one against the Mammoths, San Jose. San Jose, they put up 7. Now they're not traveling too far here. Everybody and their mother knows that the Ducks play their best hockey here at home. I'm going with the hotter team in regulation. Give me plus money value here on the Capitals. I think they get it done because I just cannot trust this goaltender. You saw what happened in the last game. They got whooped 7-0. I forgot who they played. Utah. They played Utah there at home and lost 7-0. I think they lose this one in regulation again when the public believes that the Ducks are very valued here. They're a money line here play. They're going to be all over this. So I'm going the other way. Take Washington Capitals in regulation to get it done 7 in a row.
So for people that are out there, some might say that don't bet the three-way, what a three-way line is. A three-way line means you can, and it only counts for the first 60 minutes. So if it goes overtime, and here's how you play it. In regulation means you have to win. Those teams have to win in regulation, and you can bet the tie, which Lenny's not here, but Lenny is a big tie guy.
We're going nuts right now about the tie.
Yeah. So if it goes to overtime and you have, say, either one of these teams, you lose. So if you play the side, if you play the tie, that's the only way you win is if it goes to overtime. So that's how you kind of gain some value, right, Nick? When you're playing teams that are favorite. Like if you see a favorite like -170, you're like, oh, that's out of my price range. But when you play it on the three-way, now you're getting it like in the 120s, maybe even like -130, so it becomes a more bettable game.
100%. And I honestly have not played a puck line this whole entire season. I play 60-minute regulation for that plus value. I usually typically move that line down. Obviously, the risk, they got to win in regulation, but it's a lot better value because you're not going to have to win by 2 goals. You want to end it in that 60 minutes. So that's how I play it. I think there's a ton of value in the 60-minute, especially if you bet hockey and you like those favorites. Start playing those 60-minute lines. You'll win a lot more than I would say lose.
Yeah, if you're betting favorites, I always say that's when you probably want to take the in regulation stuff. And if you want to bet underdogs, that's when I like to take the puck line because you get the +1.5. So then you only just got to, you're like, hey, this is going to be a 1-goal game. You just got to hope they don't get the empty netter at the end. That's always the, you're playing the +1.5, and it's like they pull the goalie with like a minute and a half to go. You're like, oh, please. It's never been outside of 1 the whole game. So there you go. Robert, anything in the NHL tonight? Not the biggest card tonight. Anything you like here, though?
I'm going to say I agreed with 98.9% of what you guys say, except when no, like 100%. Like, except don't shy away from those underdogs in regulation also. Like last night I hit with the Rangers. Okay. The regular line was like +135. I thought it was good value. I thought that they were going to win. So I played it in regulation and it boosted it up to like +185. So you can get some of those underdogs, especially if you're just feeling something that's in that +150, +160 range. You can boost that up to like +200 and get a 2-for-1. And as you know, you only have to hit a lower percentage of those. And I agree with you, Nick. Like I had written down Anaheim on Tuesday for this spot. There's no way that I'm betting against Washington. They're not just winning games. They are killing people right now. They're averaging almost 5 goals a game in their last 10. Like they're in the 7-game winning streak. It's 7-1, 3-1, 4-1, 4-2, 5-1. Like those games are not close. So I'm not jumping in front of that. So no, I passed in the NHL. That was the only game I was really looking at.
Well, I always say for you parlay bettors out there, when and if I'm in Vegas or I'm sitting at a sports book, I do like to parlay like you guys do. I'm always trying to find one play or maybe 2 that I can put into that +150 to +190 range, because now all my other plays get this ridiculous juiced up, that is. And that's the type of stuff we do. Me and Nick and Griffin and our customer service guy were at the Circa Swim, and we played an extended line. I think it was a college basketball game. It was like a 3-point line, and we took it at -5 or something like that. So then we got this extra value, and then we end up turning like 300 into like, I don't know. I think it was 3,000 or something. It paid for our everything and a bunch of gambling that night. So that's the kind of parlays I like. So FYI, if you like parlays, this kind of stuff, like Robert said, to juice it up.
One last thing I want to get Nick's opinion on. That Vegas, New Jersey game was one that I looked at. I lost with New Jersey against Dallas earlier in the week. I thought that Dallas was going to get double tapped where they lost to New York, and then the next night I had to play in Jersey. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case. Vegas hasn't been out east very much yet this year. Thoughts on that game? And why wouldn't we just take Vancouver? Like Utah is freakishly overvalued every single night. I don't know why people think this is a good hockey team, but isn't this another spot where we should just go against them?
Yeah, I'll tell you about this Devils game, and I'll tell you right now, I have a premium play. It's a 4-unit play, and I'll give it out here. It's the Devils, and the reason being is because the inconsistency on how Vegas is on the road. And just like you said, Robert, they're traveling to the East Coast. This game does start at 6 p.m. Eastern. That's about maybe lunchtime for these Vegas Golden Knights here. But the Devils have lost 2 straight games here at home. They were 9-0 coming into that. I believe they're 9-3 here. They lost 2 straight on their home ice. This is the revenge. The Devils are going to come out and play. I love the plus money here. That is why I took it as a 4-unit premium selection.
Yeah, Vegas. It seems like you get no value in Vegas. I guess because they are. I mean, if you haven't gone to Vegas to watch a Knights game, first of all, you need to. I mean, it is a show. It is like going to a Vegas show with a hockey game in between. I mean, every intermission, every time there's a stoppage. I mean, it is something else. And I've been to a lot of hockey games around the country. It's nothing else like it. So make sure you go. And maybe that's why these fans are just so big, and they're in a betting town where they can bet it, but you just don't get a whole lot of value on Vegas. So I do like the fading them here tonight. Let's talk college football tonight. We've got 4 games tonight. Kennesaw State, Jacksonville State. I think it's a pretty good game. We saw these teams play, 4 weeks ago? Jacksonville State won that one. Troy, JMU. JMU, of course, big news is if they need to win and kind of win impressively, they have a real shot at going to play, especially if Duke wins, to play in the playoffs. Then you got UNLV, Boise State. I mean, this is Mountain West has not been great all year. Rematch where Boise State won. North Texas and Tulane. I mean, both coaches are gone, but are coaching here, and you see two great offenses. Is there one of these games, Robert, you like more than the other? Maybe here's free play for everybody.
Yeah, I like a few of them actually. I definitely like Kennesaw State. They outgained Jacksonville State by over 100 yards in that game. That was kind of a fluke loss. Like I thought that they were the
turnovers, right? Wasn't it like they had a couple turnovers?
I think 4 turnovers.
Yeah.
I think they had 4 interceptions in that game. So they lost a turnover battle. They outgained them. And if you look at common opponents, they've had 3 common opponents. It's like UTEP, Middle Tennessee State, and I forget who the third one was in the last 2 months. And Kennesaw State has been better against those 3 common opponents than Jacksonville State. Now that's not the transitive property doesn't always work in college football, right? But it's an indicator. They played heads up throughout the score. Who was better in the stats? Kennesaw State. Common opponents. Who's been better over the last 2 months? Kennesaw State. So I definitely like Kennesaw State in that matchup.
Great stories on both sides here because obviously Kennesaw State team that's been moved up to Division I here, and
they're right around the corner from me, man.
What they've done in a short amount of time is pretty crazy. And then Jacksonville State, same thing, except Jacksonville State, remember last year that what they did, they lose a ton of players and their coach and Rich Rod to West Virginia. A lot of those players went to West Virginia with him or transferred within, rest of football. And to do what they've done, like that is, it's the power of the portal. It's like you can give it and take it away, just like that. Nick, what do you like here? Any of these other games, or even if you agree on this one? I do like Kennesaw State in this one as well.
Yeah, I got to back the Mean Green here. They've been great to me all season long. So North Texas here coming in -2.5. I would lay it with them. Their only loss was against South Florida, I believe. So that loss, it was against a good team here, but Tulane, yeah, they can move the ball offensively, averaging over 400. But let's not forget, this is the #1 offense on the stat sheet here in yards per game for the North Texas, 511 yards here on average. This is going to be a high-scoring game, but I think North Texas gets it done. I would lay the 2.5 points here.
Obviously, their coach is moving to Oklahoma State. I kind of thought since his offense was so good that he might get a shot at one of these, like the lower SEC jobs or something, just because, it's offenses sells tickets, and it's like everybody wants to have this great offense. That was a great hire, I think, by Oklahoma State. I was wondering who they would get because Gundy was there so long. And it's like, do you want like a disciple that played there?
This guy's like young Gundy, right? Like, remember when Gundy got there?
He's like 37. Is he like?
He was young, and they scored 50 points a game. Like every Oklahoma State game was a shootout. And then over the last 5 or 6 years, they became more like defensive and run oriented. I don't really know what that was. But real quick, also before we transition, I would take the points with Troy tonight. Okay, I think that exactly what you said. James Madison has to win, and they have to win impressively, and they want to blow them out. Like, Troy isn't just some like pushover team here. Like, they only lost by 11 to Clemson. They played Memphis pretty tough. Like, Troy isn't just showing up to get run over in this game, and 24 is a ton of points. Like, this is a conference championship game. Like, Troy beat good teams to get here. So James Madison is definitely the better team, but they also have all the pressure on them too, right? Like, Troy's playing with house money. So you can see them come out and fake a punt, call a trick play. And the longer this game goes and it's close, like if Troy can just make it through the first 15 minutes and not get knocked out in the first round, then all the pressure becomes on James Madison. That's way too many points. I thought that number would have been better around like 16.5. Somewhere around there. So I just think there's a ton of value there with Troy.
Imagine if if you kind of look at the matchups, obviously there's a lot to be decided here in the last, this weekend before they put the, final playoff standings in the bracket out. JMU could end up with like playing Ole Miss. Like, dude, Ole Miss maybe is a little distracted, they're a good team. They played Louisville really good. The final score in the Louisville game was deceiving because I believe it was a fumble in the end zone for a touchdown late. So that instead of 7 ended up 14. So it kind of looks like maybe Louisville dominated. That was not the case. They basically were in the game the entire game. So that one's like, but like you said, I thought this line should be 20, maybe 20 and a half. And you have to lay the extra because of everybody's like, hey, they got to kill them. It's got to be the motivation. So now you got to pay a tax. And that's the tax of the playoff tax here for this team. So I do like that play with you as Robert tonight. The last game, I'll kind of talk about this last game, this UNLV Boise game. I think there's going to be a lot more points than the first game. UNLV's defense at time this year.
In the first game. More points in the first game? Was there like
I think way more points.
7 points in the first game?
No.
It was like 56-31, wasn't it? UNLV Boise State. Boise killed them.
They killed them. It was after the Air Force game, I think, right? Like, remember the Air Force game? They won like 45-44 or something.
Yeah,
It was. There was a 3-game stretch where that UNLV defense was, just gave up 40 a game, and they just were outscoring people. I think that kind of happens again tonight. Like, if they stay in this game, it has to be their offense scoring points. I still can't believe Dan Mullen's still the coach at UNLV, to be very honest, because he had a great season. He's obviously, like, what he did at Mississippi State. Mississippi State is a tough place to win. He turned them around. I thought at Florida he didn't do that bad a job. I thought he'd give another chance. He hasn't yet. Maybe he still does. Who knows? But, for a little while, his name was being floated around Penn State. I was like, I don't know about that. But obviously Penn State now, Iowa State's coach Campbell, sounds like, is going to be their target. So, but, yeah, I kind of like over tonight in this game. What was the first score? Did you look it up?
Yeah, it's 56-31. And the reason I knew that is because I'm on UNLV. I'm on UNLV tonight. I don't know why I thought that game was 45-27. I don't know why I thought. No, you were right. Like, there was a 3-game stretch where UNLV gave up 48 to Air Force, 56 to Boise, 40 to New Mexico in
that's
3
crazy.
straight games. But
you know how hard it is to give up 40 points back to back to back week. Like, because if you give up 40, the next week you're like, dude, we got to make some adjustments. Okay, we gave up again. We got to make other adjustments.
You're a Bengals fan. Like, you should.
Hey, even the Bengals. Look, we
40 points. Yeah, the weather.
Look what we did last week. Eventually, you kind of hit on something, like, or the other team turns the ball over, like Baltimore did, like that. But this 3 games in a row, it was just like.
Well, look, like one of my things about that game, and it's something that I look for in conference championship week. And again, like, full disclosure, for my career, I'm hitting like 18% in conference championship. That bad. It's pretty bad, dude. It's pretty bad.
It just seems like that.
I just don't do, like, there's just something about this weekend that I don't do well with. But for me, the indicator in this game is if you have a team that has the better record and they're the underdog, that's usually a red flag right there. Like, we know this isn't a great Boise State team. It's not up to the caliber that they have been over the last decade. They're 8-4. They're favored by 4.5 points over a team that's 10-2 and won the conference. So
but it's on the blue turf, right, tonight?
I think so. Is that a home game?
I'm pretty sure it's at. I think all 4 games tonight are at the team on the second side, the team. Which I think this, and then tomorrow all the games I think are neutral set games. Because even like the Max in Detroit, so on the blue turf is worth. Home's usually worth 3 points. The blue turf's worth more than 3 points.
I'm thinking about going to the SEC championship game tomorrow and seeing that in person. So
that's
nice.
I still
out of
think
control though.
This is the most. Outside of Ohio State, like, and I hate to say this because I freaking hate Ohio State more than people say, who's your favorite team? Whoever Ohio State plays that week is my favorite team. That is exactly the truth for every sport. I don't ever want them to win. They are loaded.
It's been a rough 2 years for your favorite team then.
Well, luckily Michigan's beat the shit out of them every year, so it's like you can't beat your rival. You can't talk shit. But last year they got the Menken Direct, they won the championship. I don't know how they don't do it again this year. If they don't, they're going to be favored by, I'm guessing, 6 or more in every game.
It doesn't matter. That is the crazy thing over the last 2 years is that it doesn't matter what the number is. What are they on? Like a 22-3 against the spread?
This year? 10-2?
Yeah, they're 10. Like, yeah, 10-1-1, depending on what the Ohio Texas number you got. No, not the Texas one, because
the OU game.
When they played Ohio University or University of Ohio, whatever, that game, like, depending on that. So they're like 10-1-1 this year, and they were like 11-1 last year. Like, it has been insane that to see a defending champion, the number 1 team, do what they have done against the number.
And some of them have been in the high 20s. So it's like, it's not like they're winning by 10 and just covering the 7-point spread. It's like they're just murdering teams. Now, this is the first, I think, really good team they see this week. So we're going to get a glimpse. Now, is Indiana great? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know either, because I don't know about Oregon, and that's the game that you have to hang your hat on if you're them, is the Oregon game. And I don't know if Oregon's, because I don't know why I can't get Oregon getting hammered in the playoffs last year out of my head. Like, they just got dominated. So it's like that. I feel like it's the same team, even though I know it's not exactly, but it just feels that way to me. So yeah. All right. So let's talk a little college hoops before we get out of here real quick. We just have like 5 minutes. Or NBA, whichever one you guys. Is there something you like here to give out to everybody? Robert, why don't you start?
No, Nick, you go ahead.
Okay, Nick, you start.
Let's go against everybody in the firm. Taking Kentucky plus 5.5 here, just losing to North Carolina.
There's always one of them in the sports.
Honestly, it was going to be my free play though, because I like Kentucky.
Go ahead. Make the case. I want to hear this.
They just lost to North Carolina. They got their butts whooped there. So I like this. Everybody in the right mother is on Gonzaga here. And Gonzaga just got blown out, by Michigan there. Michigan put up 100 spot on them. So obviously both teams trying to get a bounce back win, and everybody's riding this Gonzaga train here. So I'm going to go the opposite way. I think Kentucky's a SEC program here. They'll compete, and I think they keep this game close. I don't think they win it. Maybe they win it, but I think they keep it close to the last second here. So that's why I'm taking the points here with Kentucky in Nashville.
Look, it's never a bad idea when everybody is on one side to go the other. It really isn't. But my issue is there's like 3 of them. Is that number one, this Kentucky team just isn't very good. And I don't think people have wrapped their minds around that yet. Their last 3 wins have all come against teams that were ranked 300 or lower. The last 3 times they played teams ranked in the top 150, they have lost. They don't have a point guard. They built this team expecting Jalen Lowe, the Pittsburgh transfer, to come and be the point guard and be the trigger man for them this year. He's hurt. They don't have a point guard. So now you just have a bunch of guys that were just kind of thrown together and nobody knows what they're doing. The fact that they lost to North Carolina, that was at home in that game. That was in Lexington. That was a game they were very much up for. Okay, and I don't think this is a vintage North Carolina team. It's a good one, and they got beat as 7-point underdogs. So now you just lost in front of the home crowd at Rupp. Now this is on a neutral site at Nashville, and you mentioned it. Gonzaga's coming off a loss. I do not even want to think about the unspeakable horrors that those Gonzaga players have endured for the last week and a half from Mark Few. Like, what do you think he has done to the guy? And Gonzaga this year, they just got blown out. That was kind of weird that they lost that badly. But they have pummeled teams like this year. They beat Oklahoma by 15, Creighton by 27, Arizona State, who won their tournament last week, by 12. They beat Alabama by 10, and they beat Maryland by 39. Like, they have pummeled.
Let's put an asterisk by that Maryland game, because that was the tiebreaker game where it was the last game of night in Vegas, and they had to win by more than 23 or something, like 17, to go play for the extra million in that. And I think that almost was why they lost the next day, is they were all out. I mean, they were like, we're going to win, because then it's $1 million divided by 12 players. It's like, it's a shit ton of money extra for that collective. So put an asterisk a little bit on that one. And then maybe the next day you run them off their legs because they were trying to win by.
But again, that's why, to your point, I feel like that's why it's easy to throw that Michigan. Like, Michigan is one of the 3 best teams in the country right now. So it's kind of easy to throw that loss out. But you look at the first game in that tournament, they played Alabama. I think we all would agree that right now today, Alabama would beat Kentucky on a neutral site, probably by double digits, right? Yeah. Well, Gonzaga beat them by 10, and that game wasn't particularly close. So I will just say, I'm not rooting for you, Nick. And I will be surprised. I will be surprised if Kentucky is able to keep this close. And that will mean that maybe they do have some potential this year. But I think that I think come the middle of February, we're going to be looking at this Kentucky team, and they're going to be like a mid-tier SEC team. I think people just haven't realized that yet.
Mark Pope has, I will say, I was skeptic that he was the right guy. He's definitely the right guy. He's a way better X's and O coach than most people are. And he's a better recruiter than I thought. He has landed some guys that I didn't think they maybe would be able to do anymore. So now, like you said, unfortunately, some injuries has kind of this team that maybe when the injuries get fixed or something, or they can just find somebody that they can run the show there. We'll see. But I will say this. If you've never been to Nashville, they've had the SEC championship there many times. I went 1 year. Oh, my goodness. It's like 85% Kentucky fans. It is literally Rupp Arena South because it's about 3.5 maybe hours, 3.5. And it's like, if you've never been to Nashville, super fun city as well. So it's a good weekend. So it's going to be a great game. It might be an equalizer if you can get the Kentucky fans. I don't know. Maybe. Can
I throw out a couple answers to some of the questions that people asked? Thank you for your patience as well. Will TCU or Notre Dame cover? Craig and I were actually talking about that off air. We both kind of agree that TCU might have blown their load last week. Like they played way over their heads last week in winning their tournament. I don't know if they can sustain that, but it wasn't a play for either one of us because I don't know how good this Notre Dame team is. I'm having to adjust them down. Marcus Burton does not look like he has progressed as a player throughout his career. They're not getting enough from Braden Shrewsbury. I think that 7 is too many points, but I just don't trust Notre Dame. Coming off that nice win over Missouri, I just don't know if I trust them. And this TCU team, they're playing at home. This is a true home game, so maybe they will continue that hot shooting. And if they do, they beat teams that were better than them last week. Drake UAB, I'm selling Drake very much this year. The number is a little too small. I like UAB, like Andy Kennedy restocked with scorers. That's just kind of what he does. So I like the talent there. Can
they win a lower scoring game, Robert? That was my question in this one.
UAB
and Andy Kennedy loves to play fast.
Exactly. Like I don't think so, or I don't know. They just weren't getting enough points here where I thought that they could hang around and make a game. They basically have to win this game outright to get it. And the Celtics Lakers, I have the over tonight. Yes, absolutely. Like the Lakers scored 123 points against a very good defensive Toronto team without Luka. I think that they can do it again tonight. The Celtics,
is LeBron playing?
That number makes me think. The number makes me think maybe he's not, because I was surprised to see that number all the way up at 7.
I was thinking 3.
Yes, I kind of agree with you, but I think he will play. He took all that time off early on in the season. They don't have Luka. I think he can suck it up on a back-to-back here, so I'm expecting him to play. And I'll be surprised if Boston blows him out.
The greatest thing, though, about the Lakers and their fans is someone's like, LeBron can only miss 3 more games the rest of the year if he wants to make the first team all league. Like, dude, what in the freak world are you living in? This is not LeBron James of even 2 or 3 years ago. Like he's the 3rd best player in his own team. He is not going to be first team all league. He is not worried about first team all league. He's worried about, hey, can we keep this going? And maybe he wins a championship and then maybe he can, but although someone said there's no way in God's green earth that LeBron is not having a reunion, like I'm going to retire tour. There's no way like he wins it all this year and just says, see ya, because he was going to want the Kobe treatment where he got, everywhere they go.
That makes sense.
I don't know if Lakers want him back for that, but we'll see. There's a question. I think we had another question down here. Xavier Cincinnati. Robert, I think you have a big play on this, so why don't you?
I didn't. I cut it from the card after you talked. I like Cincinnati this much in that game, but the more I dug into the stats, like Cincinnati's not shooting the ball. I think the Cincinnati team is a little better than people give them credit for. I don't like Xavier. I think that Dickie Pitino is kind of a loser, and they're big, but they're not very good. Like Xavier is very much a sell for me this year, but Cincinnati is turning the ball over too much. You look at, they're one of the worst in the country in non-steal turnovers. Okay. That means literally just throwing the ball away. So they shoot a lot of 3-pointers. They're top 25 in 3-point usage, but they're not hitting a lot of 3-pointers. So like they're not shooting them up from the free throw line and 3-point line. You need to do both of those things if you're going to go on the road and win. This is a huge rivalry game, as you can attest to.
Skyline shootout.
Throw out the records and all that stuff. And usually in those types of situations, I like to look at underdogs, but it just wasn't enough points. Kind of like that UAB Drake, like betting on Cincinnati, you're betting on them to win. I just don't know if I trust a team that's not shooting well and turning the ball over a ton to win.
FYI, I have probably the guy that I trust the most, so you kind of probably will know when it comes to talking odds. And I just got the phone with him before the show, and he likes the under in that game. He thinks that if either one, basically their best thing is their defense. I don't know if I agree with that or not. And by the way, Jizzle James has been at the last 3 or 4 UC games. They've showed him on the screen. Kind of weird that he's showing up at games if maybe he isn't trying to get back on this team. I kind of wonder if maybe the second semester he shows up. Who knows? That if you add Jizzle James to this team, because they kind of, like you said, they kind of need a leader. It's like they feel like they're missing a good point guard. At times last year, he was that. Maybe the Cincinnati team could be dangerous if he's in shape, and supposedly he is. So I don't know if that's going to happen. I don't know any more than everybody else out there. So I'm not saying it's going to happen.
Big time college basketball tomorrow too. That Duke Michigan State game at noon is going to be a monster. Okay. Iowa State at Purdue.
Do we have the advanced line on that? Duke Michigan State.
I think Michigan State's going to be favored in that game.
Really?
Let me check.
Because I was thinking I was going to play Michigan State if they were an underdog.
I think that it's going to be a 1-point line either way. That's what I'm seeing. I think Purdue is going to be. I'm going to say that it opens at 4.5. And then it'll go up. One thing to remember about Iowa State, by the way, 5.5 is what that's going to be. Louisville, Indiana. Indiana coming off a bad loss. Louisville
bad loss too.
Yeah. But that's when I saw it coming. Like if we didn't have
Arkansas is not terrible.
That 8-unit moratorium, that was going to be my 8-unit game of the year was going to be on Arkansas on Wednesday. But Indiana, that is not a true home game for them. And then Illinois, Tennessee. That's going to be like Illinois coming off a loss. Or excuse me, Tennessee coming off a loss. I like this Illinois team, but there's some big-time basketball. One thing to remember about Iowa State, I can tell you guys already, Purdue is going to be on my card tomorrow. Iowa State shot over 70% in that win against Alcorn State. I know it's Alcorn State, but they scored 132 points against basically a helpless team, and they shot what 22 of 30 from 3-point range. They made. You can't
do that in a gym without defense.
22 out of 30. That's unreal.
Out of 30, they shot 24 out of 35 from 2-point range. So that's 46 out of 65 from the field in that game. They shot 71%. You know what they're not going to do against Purdue? Shoot 71%. So
that's like whoever gets their tempo will probably win that game. Like if you play half court, if you play half court against Purdue, there's not a whole lot of people I think are going to beat them. Like if you played a series, let's just say.
I think they win that game by double digits.
Purdue?
I do not like Iowa State is a really good team. They are a Sweet 16 caliber team, but absolutely after shooting like that and doing that, they didn't have Taman Lipsey again, their point guard against Alcorn State. I don't know if they were just resting him or if he's still going to be out, but if he's not 100%, like Braden Smith is going to chew them up. And we have just seen Purdue do this before. They go bonkers on people in Mackey Arena. Like the crowd is going to be there.
Was it Alabama last year? Wasn't it Alabama? They just hammered last year. It was like I think it was like they murdered them.
No, I actually think they lost to Alabama last year. But remember, they went on the road this year
and beat them.
And beat Alabama. But Purdue just goes apeshit on people in their own gym. That is exactly what I think is going to happen. I think a lot of money is going to come in on
Is Braden Smith the player of the year this year, you think?
It's too early to tell. Some of those freshmen. No, it's Boozer. Cameron Boozer on a 40.
I mean, he's playing great, but Braden Smith
40 minutes. His numbers are better than Cooper Flagg's last year.
He's playing great, but they've got a lot tougher competition coming up, so we'll see if he can keep that up. Braden Smith, to me, it's almost like a career award where it's like, dude, this guy's been so good. And every year they're so good. I would love a senior to get it for once. Like I like freshmen. I like the Cooper Flagg. I like, back when we had Zion. It's great. But it's like, dude, we want guys to stay in school. He's done it the right way. The whole Purdue team's done it the right way. I would love to see.
The top of the Big Ten is by far the best of any conference in college basketball. So whoever wins that out of Michigan State, Michigan, or Purdue, I think gets player of the
year. Indiana, Illinois, you're good.
Unless Boozer keeps doing what he's doing. But if Michigan wins it, it'll be Axel Landenborg. If Purdue wins it, it'll probably be Braden Smith. And if Michigan State does it, it might be Fears. Again, depending on what Boozer does, because his numbers, everything, points, rebounds, assists, blocks, are all better than Cooper Flagg's last year, and everyone was gaga over Cooper Flagg. So
yeah, I mean, I had seen clips from his high school, both him and his brother. I was like, dude, these guys are going to be good. I did not think it would be better than at this point, like what Cooper did, because the difference is Cooper can handle the ball and initiate offense. And we've seen it with the Mavericks, how good he's been. Like at first I was like, oh, maybe he's over his head, but they've won 3 in a row, by the way, the Mavs, and beat good teams. They're doing it because yes, they got AD back, but they're like, he's playing really good for 18? He's 18. He's 19 now, I think.
18, yeah.
19.
I think he just turned 19. So crazy. We're going to talk more college basketball. Don't forget, if you want to, tomorrow, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have Griffin and Lenny. And someone said Lenny's not here. It's not that he's hungover, which I'm sure he is, because like if you saw the halftime, like I said, if you're a member, go look at the live stream from last night. Halftime, hilarious, classic Lenny. For people that don't, Lenny here, he is one of the most fun people to go to a sporting, not a sporting event, but a sports book or a bar with to watch a game, especially if any Detroit teams are in it, because this dude is just die hard Detroit basketball, hockey, like even Michigan State basketball, like you just die hard. All right, he'll be on tomorrow though, so make sure you. And Scott says, yeah, Luka's not playing tonight. He's not even in the country, so he's definitely not playing. Sounds like he might be out maybe one more game after this, and then he'll be back. The question really tonight for the Lakers is LeBron playing, because the line kind of suggests that maybe he's not. If he plays tonight, 7 seems like a gift.
It does, but that's why I cut it, because it's 7. It seems too easy.
Seems
and
double.
Like 75% of the action is on the Lakers, so that's always a red flag to me. But I agree with you. Like that line jumped out at me. That's why I took the over.
The back-to-back always
back in lineup. Sorry, Jaden Daniels back in lineup.
Is he really? Yeah. That's why that number was moving a little bit.
Yeah.
Wonder if that's going to make a difference.
All right, so don't forget, we got all the football plays are out. They come out every week, Thursday, 6 p.m. So, of course, there's big championship week tonight. The football passes don't just include college football or the NFL. It's both. So it's a heck of a deal. $99 gets you a week pass from any of us or any of our other cappers here, so you can buy a couple, make it worth your while. If you want just the top plays, you can go under – if it's just in the members area, right? They're under the grid, right? That's where they'll be able to see it. So you can buy an individual
BPA, right? When you log in there, it's basically the daily menu, the daily list of all the top plays that everyone has going on. And for football, it has everything that's going on all week.
I think there's 3. I think it was 3 or 4 top plays tonight from 2.
2 in football. I think 5 in the NBA. 3 in college basketball. There's a soccer match that kicks off. Doc has been hot in soccer, and Rafael Esparza has an NHL top play tonight. So whatever.
But when you see it, like it makes it pretty easy for you. So you just go in, log in your members area, and you can kind of see who has what, and then underneath of that you can purchase it. $30 for a day, $99 for a week, unless it's a prop, which is $25 for a day. All right, guys, have a great day. Thanks again, you guys, for joining in with me. I had fun. Don't forget, we're going to have a lot of new stuff, especially if you're a big fan of live stuff. We haven't done it yet, other than for members, really. We're going to be doing a live stream marathon session one day. We'll be announcing it in advance. It'll probably be a week or 2 away, and where it'd be like a Tuesday or Wednesday when we have a big sports schedule, and we'll have a bunch of different docs guys on for like 5 or 6 hours and just be giving live bets as they happen. As we see value come, we'll give plays. It'll be fun. So make sure you stay in. All right, guys, have a great day. See you again tomorrow.